Welcome back to the University of Kansas School of Law's CSO Boot Camp. My name is Meredith Wiggins, and I am the Assistant Director for Career Services at KU Law. In this presentation, we will briefly cover some virtual tools that you can use to grow your network remotely. We'll begin by briefly discussing the benefits of virtual networking as a way to create connections with your future colleagues. Then we'll explore a few different tools that you can use to find people to reach out to. Networking, at its heart, is the process of developing relationships with fellow professionals in fields that interest you. In-person networking events include hiring fairs, CLEs, conferences, and mixers. Since most of these events are currently on hold due to COVID-19, you should consider virtual networking instead. Networking in general has numerous benefits for students and job seekers. It can be a great way to explore various fields and practice areas in a low stakes way while getting your name out there among future colleagues. It can also act as an equalizer among candidates who may have come to law school knowing a fair amount about the legal field and those who didn't. Virtual networking, in particular, is an excellent way to form relationships with a much larger potential number of people working in a wider range of geographic and practice areas than may attend in-person networking events. Now that we've covered the general benefits of virtual networking, let's take a look at a few virtual networking tools that you should get familiar with as a part of your professional repertoire. You may already be familiar with LinkedIn, an online professional networking platform that allows you to connect with other professionals and future professionals. You can fill out a profile that acts as an online resume and is searchable to others in your network and to employers. Especially now when we're all social distancing, LinkedIn profiles can be shared in email signatures or used to replace business cards. And one particularly helpful feature of LinkedIn is that when you connect with someone, you also gain the ability to see profiles belonging to everyone that person is connected to, which is really useful for finding people with similar professional interests. If you don't yet have a LinkedIn profile set up, we strongly recommend that you take 20 minutes to create one so that when potential employers or networking contacts search for you online, you'll be in control of some of the early results that show up. One reason we strongly recommend creating a well-developed LinkedIn profile is so that you can take advantage of the LinkedIn Alumni Network, a tool that lets you sort through the profiles of University of Kansas alumni and affiliates by applying filters like geographic region, employer name, academic background, and others. And using these filters narrows the number of results and allows you to find potential network connections who share similar career goals or backgrounds as you. And I'll now show you a quick live demo of the LinkedIn Alumni tool in action. So here we are on the University of Kansas's LinkedIn page. On the left-hand side, you'll see a tab labeled Alumni. If you click this tab, LinkedIn will pull up a database of the approximately 161,000 KU alumni and affiliates who are listed on LinkedIn. You can sort through their profiles by filters like geographic region, employer, industry type, academic background, what they're skilled at, and how you're already connected to them. So for example, we might want to talk to people who are living in the Chicago area and who work in the field of compliance. This brings us down to a field of about 500 alumni. And if you scroll down, while you can filter more narrowly, you can also scroll down and simply start taking a look at who shows up. So let's take a look at the first result. Jennifer Dominguez attended the University of Kansas and is currently the Associate Director for Compliance in the Big Ten Conference. She worked as a compliance graduate assistant at University of Kansas Athletics and earned her Master's of Science in Education and Sport Management. So while she's not a JD, the work that she's doing does overlap with work that might be done by JDs. So if you wanted to reach out to her, you could send her a message through the LinkedIn platform and request an informational interview. In brief, that is how the LinkedIn Alumni tool functions, and we highly recommend that you become familiar with it. Another extremely helpful networking tool is KU's mentoring platform, run by the KU Alumni Association. You register for this free tool at mentoring.ku.edu using your KU single sign-on. It functions very similarly to the LinkedIn alumni tool, allowing you to use a variety of filters and searches to find potential mentors and networking contacts. In addition to filters like geographic location or employment industry, you can also filter by KU specific information like on-campus housing or Greek organization and affinity group membership, among others. Students often tell the CSO that they feel uncomfortable reaching out to people they don't know for networking because it feels like they're bothering them. With that in mind, one really great feature of the KU mentoring platform is that it allows users to opt into its mentoring function. So contacts in the database have already agreed to be contacted for mentorship purposes, and in many cases, they've indicated specific topics that they feel they can offer insight about. So now let's look at another quick demo. So here we are on the KU Alumni Mentoring Platform. You'll select the KU Connect tab. And this, as I said, functions very similarly to the LinkedIn Alumni tool in that it allows you to sort through various filters to find people who are doing things that you're interested in. So for example, you might say, location-wise, I want to talk to people living in Denver, Colorado. And I want to talk to folks who are working in the industry of law and legal and law enforcement. Once we've applied those filters, we'll see that about 265 matches return. Looks like they accidentally returned only for industry and not for location. Let's add that on there. And that brings us a much more targeted approach. We have Preston Buchety, Denver, Colorado, Jake Ediger in Denver, Colorado, Ellen Wengener. Let's take a look at Ellen's profile. Ellen is an in-house counsel in Denver, Colorado, working as a corporate attorney for CoBank, earned her JD at the University of Kansas, and says that she would be happy to talk to anyone about parenting and career. So if that's a topic that's of interest to you, you can message Ellen through this platform. And one nice thing is that the platform will offer templates that you can then go in and personalize a bit to be more specific to your interests. And that's basically how this platform works. Virtual networking tools are excellent ways to find people to connect with for informational interviews. And once you've located some people you'd like to speak with, you can reach out to them either directly via LinkedIn messaging or the KU mentoring platform or via email. You can also call someone directly, but generally we recommend starting with an email or other written message that will allow someone to respond on their own schedule. Make sure that you keep your initial ask brief and polite in line with an elevator pitch. Let them know who you are and what you're asking for, usually 20 to 30 minutes of time to ask them some questions about their career field and experiences. A sample informational interview email request is shown on the current slide. Feel free to pause the video and read through it. If you haven't heard back in a week and a half to 2 weeks, send one more message reiterating that you would love to speak with them, but that you understand if they don't have the time right now. After that, we'd recommend moving on rather than risking becoming a nuisance. Not everyone is open to these kinds of requests, but a lot of people are. Don't be afraid to ask and try not to take it personally if it doesn't work out. And when you do meet someone, be respectful of their time. Make sure you've got solid questions to ask and that you're focused on the speaker, not splitting your attention. And at the end of the conversation, ask the golden question. Do you know anyone else I should reach out to? And would you be okay with me telling them you shared their name with me? If you've been a thoughtful and polite person, most people are happy to refer you onward to others. And finally, some additional tips for virtual networking. Some folks in the legal profession rely on firm site pages in lieu of LinkedIn pages, but we strongly suggest creating a LinkedIn page and updating it regularly throughout your time at KU Law and beyond. Chances are good that potential networking contacts will Google you, and a professional looking LinkedIn page makes a strong first impression. While the KU mentoring platform page isn't public, it's easy to update them both at the same time. Once you've reached out to potential networking contacts, do your research. Easily Googleable questions are not what you should be asking them. A good rule of thumb is that the higher up the person you're speaking with, the more specific the questions should be. And finally, be gracious. Send a thank you note or an email to anyone you speak with and stay in touch. You don't have to talk every week or even every month, but commenting on a status update, sharing an interesting article, or just sending a how are you message keeps the relationship ongoing. I hope this presentation has been helpful as you think about ways to grow your network virtually. Please feel free to contact the CSO with any questions that you have, and rock chalk!